Hey, Mary, are you there? Do you have a second to talk real quick? Look, it's an emergency. It's my dad. He just collapsed.
Hold on a second. What do you mean by that? What do you mean your dad collapsed? And if it's an emergency, why even ask if you can talk to me about it? But that doesn't really matter right now, I guess. You said that your dad fell? Well, what happened? Is he okay?
I think he's okay, yeah. He's still breathing and he's not bleeding or anything like that, thankfully. But the thing is that we were talking a bit just up until this happened, actually. But then, as he was walking, he kind of started to trail off and it was as if he lost his train of thought. Only it was worse. He was totally gone. And that's when he fell and hit the floor.
I see. But did anything else happen before he fell? Is he doing okay now? What's he doing?
No, don't worry. My dad is fine. I woke him up and checked in on him. He didn't say anything was hurting, so I just took him to bed. He's been lying there fast asleep. That's why it wasn't such a huge, immediate emergency, you know? I checked on him first, but it's still kind of an emergency. But anyways, I'm kind of tied down here with Dad right now, so would you mind going to check and see on my mom? I can't go to her right now with my dad like this.
Wait, Jake, I can't do that. I have a bunch of work that I need to take care of. I don't think that this is going to work for me.
Oh, come on. Can't you just take the day off? I really need you for this. I mean, it isn't even like you do anything important for your job or anything like that. Besides, are you really going to tell me that you're going to put your job before your family? How messed up is that?
How many times have I asked you to take just a little bit of time off from work for the times that I've needed you? Or even just when I wanted to go somewhere on vacation with you?
Oh, come on, I'm a man. You know that we need to put our work before anything else. I guess it's just something that you wouldn't get.
I can't believe that you actually believe that. What decade are you even living in? You can be so ridiculous sometimes. Do you know that?
What did you say to me? How dare you talk to me like that? What's the matter with you?
You're right. I went too far. I'm sorry about that, Jake. You know that I didn't mean it like that. Anyways, you wanted me to go and help your mom take care of your dad, right? Well, this news with your dad has got me worried about him as well. So how about I take off some time from work tomorrow and I go to check on both of them?
Fine. That sounds just fine to me. Just make sure that you check in on my mom first. She's really tired and needs a lot of care. You understand that, don't you? You can go ahead and consider this an order for me to be extra careful with my mom, got it?
Jake, you know that you don't need to order me around. You can just ask me nicely to do things and I'll be happy to do them for you. But don't worry. I promise that I'll go and check on her soon, okay? Hey, Jake, are you there? I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what you were talking to me about the other day. It's about your dad, you see. Are you sure that he was spacing out? You made it sound like he was going senile. Are you really actually sure that that's the case?
What in the world are you talking about? Were you talking to my mom? What did she tell you about my dad? You know you can't listen to her.
No, sorry. This doesn't have anything to do with your mom at all. I was just wondering about it today, so I thought I'd ask.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be helping my mom right now? Can you just please stay out of her way if you're not going to help out over there?
Jake, does your mom even know the first thing about nursing at all? Because it really doesn't look like it to me.
What are you talking about now? Can you please just focus on one question at a time here? Are you telling me that you have a problem with the way my mom was taking care of my dad?
I just mean that I think your mom is... I think she's being pretty mean to your dad, actually. Really mean.
Okay, now I know that you're just messing with me. I know that there's no way that my mom would be mean to my dad. What are you talking about?
I just mean that she basically was hanging around your dad all day, but all she was doing was bad-mouthing him. And she was talking about how she was looking forward to him dying so that she could finally get all his belongings. So, anyways, I just wanted to ask and make sure that your dad was doing okay.
Was my mom really talking to him about his will? That's so funny. Although, I guess I can't really blame her. I would want to make sure I get paid too if I had to babysit an invalid like him.
Jake, please. That's a horrible thing about anyone, especially your own dad. Even if that was a joke, I don't think it was very funny.
Well, who said it was a joke? I'm with my mom on that one. It would be just easy if the old man just kicked the bucket.
How can you say that about your own dad, Jake? That's horrible.
Well, even if it's horrible, at least I'm not alone. It sounds like she might want him dead even more than I do. Sure. That's so funny that she just basically told him to hurry up and die.
Jake, what are you talking about? Please, can we just stop this conversation already? I don't like it, and I don't think we should be talking about this.
Fine. You know, fun sometimes. I just wanted to let you know that I was able to get a lot of time off this summer.
Oh, really? So you're actually going to take time off this year?
That's right, but that means that it's going to be your job to watch my dad. Have fun taking care of a guy who does nothing but lie in bed all day. I'm sure I'll have a much better summer than you.
What are you talking about, Jake? Why would I have to take care of your dad? What do you mean by that?
I mean that I'm telling you to take care of my dad during that time. What is there to get? You're going to be the only one around who will be able to do it anyways, since we're going on a trip and you're still going to be here.
I'm sorry, we? What do you mean by we? Who is the other person in that?
Who do you think that is? My mom, of course. We're going to enjoy the summer and take a little vacation together.
Hold on a second. You mean to tell me that you and your mom are both going to just leave your dad in this state? Not only that, but you're going to leave me with him while he's in this state. And just where are you going to be taking this vacation to, huh?
We're going to Tahiti. Isn't that amazing? It's going to be a blast.
I'm sorry. You're going to Tahiti with your mom this summer.
That's right. Just me and her living it up on a tropical beach. It'll be a really, really fun time, don't you think?
Jake, that isn't what I meant. What I'm trying to get at is that, I mean, aren't you worried about your dad? How can you just leave and go on a trip at a time like this? What's the matter with you?
But we're not leaving him all alone or anything like that. I mean, that's what you're going to be here for after all. You'll watch him while me and my mom have a blast halfway around the world. So have fun with that, Mary.
What do you mean, have fun with that? How can you do this to me? You're horrible! Do you know that? Are you telling me that your mom is okay with doing this too? She's fine, leaving her own husband bedridden while she just flies away to some tropical beach.
You think that my mom wants to be bogged down taking care of that old fart? No way. She's not going to let herself be tied down like that. Mom and I are our own people, and the best part is that since Dad is in no position to say no, we can do this whole trip on his expense. Isn't that great? We're not going to have to pay a single penny for this trip at all. It's literally an all-expense paid vacation to Tahiti. This is going to be amazing.
Oh, you're going to regret this, Jake. I can guarantee you that right now. You can't just treat your dad like this. It's not right. And you can't just dump the duty of taking care of him on me either. It isn't fair. And now you're saying that you're going to steal his money to do this as well? You have to know that you're not going to get away with this, right?
I don't care what you say. It shouldn't have to fall to Mom and I to take care of Dad just because he couldn't take care of himself. That's why you're going to be doing it for us.
I still can't believe that you and your mom are really going to go through with this harebrained scheme. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of.
I don't care what you think, Mary. Let's get one thing straight here. You're my wife, and that means it's your job to do as I say. So if I tell you to do something, I don't want to hear or get any messages asking questions or making me explain myself. Now you're going to take care of that old fart, and that is that. Do you understand me? And my mom and I are going to go and have the time of our lives, and there's nothing that you can do about that.
All right then, but don't come crying to me when all of this comes around to bite you in the butt, Jake.
Oh man, Mary, Tahiti is so amazing. This is one of the best trips I've ever gone on in my entire life. I knew that it was going to be a good idea to force you to watch my dad. This is so amazing. Nothing could ever tear me down from this moment right now. We were just at the beach a little bit ago, and I got to get in the water, and it was perfect and so fun. Well, I just want you to know that my vengeance begins now, Jake. Wait, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean by your vengeance? What do you want about Mary? This isn't Mary, son. It's me, your father. Wait, Dad? Is that really you? I don't get it. What's going on here? What is this? And why are you texting me from Mary's number? I don't understand. Why do you have her phone? Nah, this can't be real. This has got to be some sort of prank, right? My dad is an invalid. His brain barely even works anymore. There's no way that he could be texting me. You almost had me going there, Mary. Even I can admit when I've been had. But you better have a good reason for trying to trick me like this. This isn't a prank, Jake. I'm being serious. This is your father speaking to you right now. What do you mean? I don't get it. I already figured out that it was you, Mary.
No, now this is Mary. The one texting you before, however, was your dad.
Okay, hold on just a second. What is going on here? Are you trying to tell me that my senile bedridden dad was texting me from your phone? Do you think I'm stupid enough to fall for that?
It isn't a joke, Jake. And I'm so sorry to have to do this to you and your mom while you're both away on such an amazing trip. But you should know that your dad was keeping a secret from you.
A secret? My dad? What are you talking about? What secret? Why should I trust anything you say?
I mean that your dad told me something that I don't think you know. The thing is that he's been watching you and your mom because he knew that you two were only after the money he could leave you both.
Wait, what are you talking about? You're telling me that my dad was just watching my mom and I? Like he was testing us or something?
You don't really need to understand all the details. But you should know that your dad is calling his lawyer right now and having his will changed. That is to say that he's going to give me all of the money that was going to go to your mom and you.
Are you serious? Please tell me this is some kind of joke.
It's not a joke. It's your dad's final will and testament, Jake. So, if you have a problem with it, don't take it up with me. Take it up with your dad. For all the good it'll do you.
This has to be some kind of joke. There's no way that my dad would do something like that. Mary, whatever game you're playing right now, I don't like it, and I want you to stop right now.
It's no game, and I'm only telling you the truth, Jake. And the truth is that your dad was only pretending to be senile. Even I could tell that he wasn't really when I first showed up to take care of him. It was obvious.
But you mean, he really was just faking it this whole time? And I had no idea?
I mean, if anyone is going senile here, it seems to me like it would be you, Jake.
But then, you mean, you knew that my dad really wasn't senile this whole time? And you never thought to tell me anything at all? What does the matter with you? You're my wife. You're supposed to tell me that kind of important stuff.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry. And here I thought you would have cared enough about your own dad to notice.
This isn't a game, Mary. This is real money that we're talking about here. How can you be so useless? You're a terrible wife, you know that?
Well, maybe I should just stop being your wife.
Stop being my wife? What is that supposed to mean?
It means that I won't be your wife and you won't be my husband because we'll get a divorce. Because I don't want to spend another day of my life married to a creep like you.
You can't be serious. You really want to divorce me? But why? I don't get it. Don't you think that's taking things a bit too far?
Do I think it's taking things too far? I think that you're the one who suddenly announced that you were going away on some tropical vacation that you were paying for by stealing from your dad. I am divorcing you. Your dad is going to divorce mom. And neither of you are getting a penny from him, and that's that.
You can't do this to us. You have no right.
Except that I'm not the one doing this, Jake. Your dad is. And he's doing it because he realized that you and your mom were only interested in taking care of him for his money. He is perfectly aware that you both prefer that he were rather dead than still around today. So he waited and bided his time to see just how far you would go with all of this.
But this isn't fair. Don't you see how hard Mom and I had things? I mean, don't you realize we were victims in this? My dad tricked us. We never did anything like that to him. You should be taking our sides in this.
What on earth are you talking about? Are you really going to try and blame your dad for not wanting to be honest about how we felt when the two of you might have actually killed him? I think he knew just how precarious of a position he was in being alone in the house with the two of you. He told me that he was so happy when he heard that you two were going to leave on your vacation. He told me that it meant his plan had worked and he'd tricked you. Not only that, but it meant that I would be coming over to take care of him and he could finally reveal his plan to someone that he knew he could trust.
You're really telling me that my dad really told you all of this? Are you kidding me?
He told me about how scared he was every single day living under the same roof as you. Can you imagine living in fear of your own child and spouse? That must have been horrible. And don't you feel guilty at all that it was you and your mom that was causing your dad to live in such horror? How can you even live with yourself?
But you don't get it. This isn't my fault. I mean, it was my mom. She was the one who told me that my dad was going senile, and I just believed her.
Well, you certainly didn't seem to have any problem ignoring any evidence to the contrary that might have existed before your eyes. But imagine how that must have made your dad feel.
I know, but I was too busy to notice, that's it. And barely spent any time there as it is, and wasn't able to check is all.
You really are just full of excuses, aren't you? I don't even know what to say to you now. Can we just get divorced and get this over with?
Wait, you're still wanting to get a divorce? You can't be serious.
You know that we already have those divorce papers that we both signed and kept in storage just in case.
You mean you're still holding on to those? I threw mine away.
Well, I always held on to mine. And I guess now I'm glad that I did, given all that's happened.
So you mean that you're really just going to leave me over the way that I was treating my dad? That's ridiculous.
It's not just your dad, Jake. It's the way that you were treating me. You were always talking down to me and treating me like an idiot. Well, I do not need to take that from you any longer. You treated me just like you treated your dad and either ignored or didn't care about how we might be feeling. Now, goodbye forever. In the end, Jake had no choice but to go along with the divorce, as did his mom with his dad. The funniest part was that the reason they couldn't do anything to impede the process was because they were in another country on vacation. By the time they got back, there was nothing they could do. Jake's father and I even did them the courtesy of packing their bags for them. With nowhere to live, the two of them had to quickly move into a tiny apartment. They both had almost nothing in savings after they had to pay back all the money they had stolen to use on their trip. With no money to look forward to either, the two of them are starting from scratch on their own. But honestly, I think it serves the two of them right for how they took advantage of their loved ones. Jake's father and I still keep in touch, though his health has been getting worse and worse. I've done my best to take care of him ever since we both cut our partners out of our lives.